Number 10, Alvin Kamara. Highest was ranked 7. Last year, he was honorable mention. Number 9, Joe Mixon. Highest ranking's been 5. Last year, he was honorable mention. Number 8 was James Cook. Highest rank has been 4. Last year, he was honorable mention. Number 7 is Jonathan Taylor. He's been as high as ranked as 2. Last year, he was 5. Josh Jacobs, highest ranking was 3. Last year, he was ranked 7th. Number 5, Christian McCaffrey, highest ranking has been 3. Last year, he was ranked 1. Number 4, Bijan Robinson, highest ranking's been 1. Last year, he was ranked 6. Number 3, Jahmyr Gibbs, highest ranking has been 2. Last year, he was ranked 8th. Number 2, Derrick Henry, highest ranking's been 1. Last year, he was ranked 9th. And number 1, Saquon Barkley, highest rank has been 1. Last year, he was ranked 4th. What do you got?
I think
let me tell you the honorable mentions first. Honorable mentions are Bucky Irving, Aaron Jones Jr., Devon Achane, Breece Hall, James Conner. Also receiving votes were Kyron Williams, David Montgomery, Brian Robinson Jr., Chuba Hubbard, DeAndre Swift, and Kenneth Walker III.
I wish that Kenneth Walker was more up there. Aaron Jones stinks. I mean,
I wish Kenneth Walker was up there too.
If you had
play a full season, he'd be up there.
Aaron Jones last season was I had him in fantasy. He was absolutely brutal to have in fantasy football.
I genuinely don't get how Alvin Kamara is on this list because I think Bucky Irving's better than him. I think Devon Achane is better than him, and I think Breece Hall is better than him. Hell, even James Conner probably had a better year than him. I think Alvin Kamara is good, but I don't think he's a top 10 running back in the NFL anymore. Maybe in PPR fantasy, he's top 10, but that's it.
The first thing that I have an issue with this list is I know Saquon had a extremely, extremely special season last year, but until Derrick Henry falls off of a cliff, Derrick Henry is the best running back in the NFL. And I get it. Not everybody's going to love that because of like how special Saquon's been, but Derrick Henry has done what he's been doing for like a decade now. Saquon has his rookie season where he really played strongly, and then he really had that pop last season. And I mean, when we preview the Eagles, I'm going to freak out because I'm still mad that what the Eagles did to Saquon last year. He should have had 20 plus touchdowns, but instead they kept doing that dumbass tush push. Like Saquon should have had he did have an all-time historic season, but I'm talking about even more. And I'm even mad at Saquon a little bit because he took himself out of the game the one time when he could have broke like his rushing record.
Yeah.
Some little stuff. Listen, I get it. Saquon's a good dude and that's not like his thing, but it's just those little things that like he's a team guy. That's why he's a Super Bowl champion. But Saquon, as selfishly as big of a Saquon fan as I am, I just want every possible way of him to just like break every record like possible.
Yeah, that would have been sick. And maybe like down the road, he'll look back on it and be like, yeah, I kind of wish I had those, but it's hard when you win a Super Bowl to look back and be like, yeah, I would have done this a little differently.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is Derrick Henry 1, Saquon Barkley 2, and I think undoubtedly I would have had this guy second, but his injury luck last year, I can't use the injury inconsistencies with Saquon without bringing this guy up as well. And I think Saquon has the edge of him right now in his career. Christian McCaffrey 3. I think when you're looking at it, like the big 3 of the NFL, it's Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Christian McCaffrey in some way, in some order.
That first tier of elite running backs.
I do think that they are like the guys. The next tier of running backs that I have are the guys who I would like deem like next up, who like if you were to tell me that these guys were like 1 and 2 on this list next year, I'd be like, makes sense. I have this guy over him, Bijan Robinson, and then
Yeah.
I have Jahmyr Gibbs. I just
Yep, I agree with you.
like Jahmyr Gibbs is like lightning in a bottle. He's amazing. I just think from like a front to back perspective, I just think Bijan's game is a little stronger, and I think he kind of gets like overshadowed a little bit here and there.
Bijan can play every single down, but for some reason, the Atlanta Falcons would just love to take him out for drives at a time. Um, and
Don't even get me started.
it just makes absolutely no sense. The Jahmyr Gibbs thing, I think he can get there, and I think we'll have a chance at seeing that because isn't David Montgomery injured to start the year?
I don't think so, but I'm also not 100% sure.
So, or didn't he might have gotten injured at the end of last year. Either way, I
He
still
did, but
think
he
that
came back in the playoffs.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs can get to that point. I think Bijan has a higher ceiling and is better and will be better, but I still think that Jahmyr Gibbs can be a 3-down guy.
So the next list that I have here are I'm gonna call these guys like all reliable almost in a way. Josh Jacobs led the league in
Yeah.
rushing 2 years ago. I think that he is a great running back. I think he still has that potential to lead the league in rushing. Um, and like on the Packers, they throw it a lot. I still think that he's finding his way with there. I still think that he's a really good player. Next, James Cook with the Bills.
Yeah.
There were stretches of last season where he
He was
was the Buffalo
nasty.
Bill.
He
He
was
was the
nasty.
reason why they were winning football games, and he was so reliable at running the football that it gave them it unlocked their offense a little bit in a way that we haven't seen before. And then the last one that I have in this list is James Conner. James Conner gets
Yeah, he was a dog.
absolutely no love. He is the most consistent. He's probably one of the most consistent guys outside of the top 3 on this list. He's been doing it for a really long time, and he's extremely reliable, and he gets 5.5 yards a clip every time he touches the ball. So yeah, James Conner is that next 3. So 6 to 8, I have Josh Jacobs, James Cook, and James Conner.
For James Cook, I had him in fantasy and he was spectacular. Um, Last season he tied OJ's record for the most rushing touchdowns in a season for the Bills. That man could have realistically had 20 plus touchdowns if
Probably
he's in the same exact boat as Saquon Barkley because of the amount of times that Josh Allen would have rushing touchdowns.
stolen.
And there would also be weird instances where they would have in other running backs, not as often as Bijan, but there was a couple touchdowns that were snagged from him along the way that weren't Josh Allen stealing them, but James Cook could have had 20 last year.
Definitely.
Easily.
So my 9 and 10 on this list are guys that I would say like watch out. And 9, I have Chuba Hubbard, and 10, I have Brees Hall. I think both of these guys are elite at running the football. I think both of them are great in the passing game. With Brees Hall, he's been kind of banged up and nicked up and hasn't been able to kind of get over that hump where we all thought that he could be like one of the best running backs in the NFL. And I think that if he can, like I said, he's still recovering from this knee injury. Now we're a year away from a year away. He's like, let's get him fully healthy and running the football. And I just think Chuba Hubbard might, as of right now, be, and I think that he's going to prove it this upcoming season. He is actually special. Like he is going, I think he's going to continue. I think his game's really good, and I think he's going to continue to get better. So those are my 2 guys that like, I don't know if they're going to, Brees, I could see raise on this list a ton if he has a healthy season. With Chuba Hubbard, I just think he firmly cements himself like in the back half of this list to be like one of the top running backs in the NFL, at least for right now.
The Joe Mixon and Alvin Kamara spots on this list feel so much related to fantasy football that it just seems incorrect. Like, I agree with you with Breece Hall. I think there's a strong argument for James Conner as well. He's been nothing but a workhorse in Arizona. Chuba Hubbard, I agree, being like the lookout guy. I think there's just better guys in the NFL than I know. Joe Mixon's 28 and Kamara's 29. Neither one of these guys are 30 yet, but like it just feels like they've just taken such a step back and aren't it almost feels like they got put on here because of tenure in fantasy football.
I don't know what tenure anybody's looking at for Joe Mixon as of right now. He is maybe
I'm just saying
the most
in the league.
Yeah, he's probably the most inefficient running back in the entire NFL. Like last year, of 54 running backs, Joe Mixon ranks 40th in yards after carry, 42nd in breakout runs. He had 4.1 yards per carry, ranking 30th amongst 41 qualifying running backs. Success rate, 1 in 3 carries resulted in positive expected points per atom, ranks 32 in the NFL. He just isn't a good player anymore. That's really all.
Him and Kamara are just not complete running backs at this point in their career.
No.
There's more complete guys that should have been on this list than those two.
Completely agree with that.
I think that James Conner's a more complete back. I think Bucky Irving just isn't there quite yet, but I think he can get there. Breece Hall, the injury thing is kind of working against him, but I think he's a more complete back than both of those guys. Chuba Hubbard, I think you made a great point of him. I think he's also a more complete back. The injury thing works against Kenneth Walker too, but I think even he's a better running back than both of those guys.
Yeah, I would like to see him be fully healthy before he's like an honorable mention. Like
100%. Yeah, that's very fair. I think that's very fair. But other than that, I think we're pretty much in agreement that these top 3 guys are Saquon, Derrick Henry, and Christian McCaffrey. And it realistically feels like any one of those guys can go out and put together an incredible season at this point still.
For sure.
And be the number 1 guy.
Yeah, those are clearly the best guys.
Yeah. And the Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs second tier are like, they're not there yet, but they have the ceiling to get there.
Oh, absolutely.
So I agree with you there. And then I like the third tier that you had. I think we're in much more agreement with the running backs than quarterbacks, which totally fine.
Definitely and clearly.
I just spit it. Good girl, we're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks and bring it back, man, and take vision.